Alright, welcome back. Just a little update here on this F-18. Sorry, it's raining outside, so it's kind of noisy in here. But I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a video showing kind of like the issue I was having with this flap. Because of these wire hinge, pin hinge, whatever you're going to call it. The problem was originally, the alignment was good till you got down to about right, about halfway, and then you had to push the slat back to get the other holes to line up. There's a hinge here. The big arm has a hole through, which is like essentially a hinge, and then there's another one right here. So up to this point, everything was going good. Then you get to here, and you'd have to force it. And what it would do is it would push this lip too far up, pretty much 1/4 of an inch difference in this wing, basically the length of the cord, than on the other wing. And of course it would when you wouldn't move very well, and it would bind up and start cracking this little flange here. So what I had to do was go through and but first of all, I'll show you. Now, after I re-glued 2 hinges, now you can see it moves to the full extent. Basically it bottoms out, the arm bottoms out on the top. No binding now, nice and easy like the other one, real simple, moves real smooth. So I luckily I was able to get them all out, and this is kind of something to a note if you have one of these. Not much wood in there. I mean, they had some soft ply, but I mean, you can look. I mean, they put all that glue, all that high sol on there, and not really doing anything but adding a lot of weight, because essentially the only area that was glued was the top here, and where this piece went into the front frame. I'll show you. And they were all pretty much like that, so anyways, just something to note. They sent me I got all new arms. I'm not gonna put this one in. I'm not gonna try to tear this big thing out of the other one. I'm just gonna re-drill the hole up on it, because there's more room to do it versus like these, they're at the very tip. I had no room to re-drill holes. This one I can actually re-drill the hole on the original. So let me take this apart and kind of show you. I don't have them all glued in yet, so I essentially ran 2 rods in from each end. Oh, I have to set this down for a second. I'll pull this out. Lucky for me, there was actually the hole went all the way through, so you can run the rod in from this direction as well. Because if not, I was like, it would have made getting these things glued in and aligned extremely difficult. Because like I said, I didn't have another hole in here yet. So let me take this off and show you. You just have to work it a little bit. There you go. Alright, so that one's it's a temporary, basically I put a little bit of extra wood in there to hold it, to get it glued into the right position. Same for this one. And now that I have the actual, I've got them set in there at the proper angle and the length, I'll go back in and throw in a lot more high sol and some more ply to kind of fill those in to make them strong. Like I said, they were just a temporary tack. You can see the big holes where they got the other ones out and everything. So I didn't tear the arm out, but it does have a hole in it as well. But I can re-drill that. Nothing in there to really. There's some wood blocks, but the arms were not in the block. It was basically sitting up against the side of it. you know. So instead of like having a slit there, you know, there was no wood on both sides, it was just one side. So it made them, you know, easier than I thought getting it out, which was actually nice. So I got the end ones too, you know, because I got to glue in 1, 2, and 3 more. But now that I've got the 2 end points set to the right length, these will just be essentially, I'll put them in here, run the rod all the way through, and then put a little bit of glue in the slots and push it back on and just let them set up. Or do like I did these. I put them in and waited about 2 hours and let the high saw just basically thicken up. Takes longer than that to cure, but it was still pliable. And I came back out, put the rod in, and got them where I needed them to get a perfect fit. So this is the first issue I'm having to fix. So once I get these other hinges glued back in, I'll go back through and clean everything up, put new balsa, because this is just balsa with looks like some kind of real thin glass over it. But I'm just going to go, you know, put good high saw in there, reinforce it the best I can. Like I said, this is the big one. You know, this one's in there really well because, like I said, the piece goes all the way back. These essentially are only going in, you know, gosh, that far, you know, so they don't have to go very far. But this one goes all the way back, which is why I wasn't even going to attempt to cut it out. But anyways, that's all. Like I said, I'm not doing much. I'm going to be leaving in a few weeks, heading over to Germany, so I'm not going to do much with it until then. I've been working, trying to figure out the paint thing. You know, find matching paints that I can get. I ordered a set of tailor-made decals with some paint mask and everything. Did a little bit of sanding, just kind of test things. This stuff sands real easy. Decals, you know, the ones I put on there, you can essentially just scrape off with your fingernails, so that'll make it easy. I actually took one off here, and you kind of see the pattern where it was. So the dark colors I'll repaint. The light tan color hopefully will just be a little touch up where I had to remove the old decals, but it'll get there. Since I'm going to do new decals and everything, it'll be really detailed. I got decals for the landing gear, decals for the missiles and everything too. So when I'm done with it, it'll look really good. A lot of these other decals that they put on there aren't even on the original one, so they'll just come back off and won't have any on there. But so there you go. Working on this was the biggest pain, so I wanted to go ahead and do this. So even if this is all I get done before I leave, at least I won't have to worry about that when I get back, so I can just start building. You know, some people saying, well, go ahead and build it and fly it, you know, before you repaint it. But I mean, shit, if I ain't got nothing else to do, because I can't afford the turbines for a while, so might as well just do it. Give me something to do. Anyways, kind of a long-winded video for not much of anything, but you guys have a good one, and take it easy.